Good morning. My name is Jeff Campbell. I'm the Assistant City Manager of the City of Hazel Park. I'm also the Planning and Economic Development Director. And we're here today to answer some questions about Smorsa, the South Macomb Oakland Regional Services Authority. It is a millage that is going to be put before the voters on February 24th, 2015. With me, I have Mr. Klobuchar to answer some of the basic questions that have come up during our discussions with the community and through other avenues such as Facebook. Welcome, Mr. Klobuchar.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Klobuchar, as the city manager, I just wanted to ask you some basic questions regarding this authority. First off, is this authority, Smorsa, going to create another level of bureaucracy?
Absolutely not. I've heard this question raised several times that we're creating an outside agency that will actually add a level of bureaucracy and expense to the cities of Hazel Park and East Point. That is simply not true. There will be no level of bureaucracy created whatsoever by the establishment of the Smorsa Authority. Smorsa is simply a funding mechanism that allows the cities of Hazel Park and East Point to collect additional revenue, and those revenues will remain with the city of Hazel Park and the city of East Point. In other words, everything collected in Hazel Park by the Smorsa millage will stay in Hazel Park to provide fire protection in Hazel Park. Everything collected by the city of East Point under the Smorsa millage will stay in East Point to provide for fire protection in the city of East Point. Smorsa will have no employees other than paying for the fire departments in those respective communities. There will be no level of bureaucracy whatsoever added. There will be no administrative costs. These will simply be journal entries that will be made by the respective city staffs. The Smorsa board consists of the city manager of Hazel Park, the city manager of East Point, and in alternating years, the treasurer of Macomb County and the treasurer of Oakland County. It is a three-person board. Its only authority under the bylaws and the agreements is to provide for fire protection. There will be no additional employees and no administrative costs other than that.
So just to confirm, the board will receive no additional funds for its work, and there will be no employees assigned to the board who will receive any additional monies.
The board will not receive additional compensation for their work on Smorsa.
Okay. Why are we having the Smorsa millage election in February?
Well, because February is the earliest that we could have this election. We were simply unable to have it in November because we had not formalized the agreements yet with the city of East Point. We have to have it before August to enable us to levy taxes to levy this millage and the summer taxes, so that we are not forced to make drastic cuts in fire, police, and public works and recreation programs in our city of Hazel Park. So it's not a time of the year that we would normally choose to have an election. Believe me, I wish we were having this in May or in August, but this is the time, this is the first available opportunity for us to have this election, and it is the latest that we can go to enable us to put this on the tax bills. So that's why we were forced to have a February election. We're doing our best to publicize this so that everybody knows that this is on the ballot.
Will we be sharing services with East Point? Meaning, will our fire trucks travel down 8 Mile and 9 Mile through Warren to East Point to fight fires and vice versa?
No. Again, Smorsa is simply a funding mechanism that the city of Hazel Park and the city of East Point created to enable us to levy additional mills to pay for this critical service. There will not be a specific consolidation of services with East Point. Hazel Park will continue to provide its own fire protection with its own fire department, and the city of East Point will do the same. The city of Hazel Park has looked at various physical consolidation proposals with other fire departments, including Ferndale, and also Ferndale, Madison Heights, Royal Oak, as part of a combined Southeast Oakland Fire Department. After reviewing both of these proposals, we determined that the city of Hazel Park would not save any money through the consolidation process. The city of Hazel Park already has the cheapest police and fire protection per capita of any of our surrounding communities. In fact, it costs the average Hazel Park taxpayer $80 to $90 less for those protections a year than it does our surrounding communities. So we are already the cheapest, which makes it difficult for us to achieve any savings as part of an economy of scale with our other neighboring departments. What we do have that does help us save money and did grow from one of those proposals is an automatic mutual aid program that we have with the cities of Madison Heights and Ferndale. And what that means is when there's a fire in Hazel Park or in Ferndale or in Madison Heights, firefighters from the other two communities automatically respond to assist. We just had a fire in the city of Hazel Park yesterday on East Harry Street. And Hazel Park was first on the scene. We were rapidly assisted by Ferndale and Madison Heights as well. It's critically important that this millage passes, because if we have to cut our fire department anymore, we will not have enough manpower to maintain that service sharing arrangement with those communities. That service sharing arrangement makes the city of Hazel Park residents dramatically safer because of the additional manpower that we can bring to bear on a fire. It's also enabled us to cut our minimum staffing from 6 firefighters to 5 because we can count on the additional support. If we go any lower, we will be forced to drop participation in this agreement, and you will be dramatically less safe as a community. This is an example of service sharing that works short of full consolidation, which we've determined over and over again does not work. So we are bringing to you a very cost-effective program for fire protection in the city of Hazel Park that does an outstanding job of keeping you safe. In order to maintain that program, we need this small amount of additional revenue from you on Tuesday, February 24th.
Isn't it true that based on the fire's recent performance, we've had our first ISO rating drop in decades, and that a no vote on the millage might affect that rating and insurance premiums on each and every house in Hazel Park?
Yes, Jeff, that is true. ISO is an insurance organization that rates a fire department's ability to protect its residents. For the first time in over 20 years, the city of Hazel Park has seen an improvement in their ISO rating. The lower the rating, the better the rating for ISO. Hazel Park historically has been rated at a 5. We recently achieved our first 4 ever. So this hopefully will help our residents in terms of lower costs for homeowners insurance. If this millage does not pass, residents can count on much higher increases in homeowners insurance than will cost them for the additional millage levy. So please consider that when you make your decision as to how you're going to vote. It will cost you more money for homeowners insurance, and you will be dramatically less safe. That's why we feel this millage is a small but critical investment in our community's safety.
Why East Point?
East Point, because the mills match up. In the city of East Point, 14 mills cover the cost of their fire department. In the city of Hazel Park, 14 mills cover the cost of our fire department. Under the authority legislation that's been approved by the state of Michigan, the communities must levy an identical number of mills throughout the authority. If the city of Hazel Park were to consolidate, for instance, with Ferndale for an authority, for 14 mills, the city of Ferndale, would be able to pay for almost 3 fire departments because their mills are worth so much more than our mills are worth. East Point and Hazel Park are very similar socioeconomically and in terms of our property values, and our mills match up.
Finally, what effect will a no vote on this millage have not only on the fire department but the rest of the city of Hazel Park, sir?
Again, I can't stress enough the importance of this millage, because we will have to try to do something to provide some type of fire protection. So we will not only be reducing the level of expenditures on our fire department, we will also be making cuts to our police department, which has achieved some of the biggest reductions in crime in our city's history since 2011. And we will also be forced to make cuts to our public works department, which is responsible for patching potholes, fixing roads, and plowing snow, and shoveling snow around our parks and public buildings. So these are critical safety issues. Our recreation department would likely be closed. And again, recreation is critically important for quality of life in this community, but it also provides important life-enhancing and sustaining programs like Meals on Wheels, congregate lunches for seniors, the senior transportation program, and various public health projects and initiatives. That entire department runs the risk of closure.
Thank you, Mr. Klobuchar. Is there any other final thoughts? I know as sort of an adopted Hazel Park resident how important this is to us and how important this vote is to maintaining the level of service that we provide. I'm so proud to be a part of this city, and I look forward to continuing those services. But unfortunately, if we don't have a yes vote and get this millage pushed forward, we are really going to struggle to provide you the services that you require, that you demand, and that make this city great and make me proud to work here and be a part of it. Anything to add from your end?
Right now, we're doing a great job of providing outstanding services with very few employees. We've probably cut the total number of employees in the city of Hazel Park by 20% since I took over as city manager in 2002. For the past dozen years, we've had contract concessions from all of our bargaining units. The employees have worked with me and with the elected officials in the city of Hazel Park to control costs. We've learned how to do more with less, and we've demonstrated that we can operate our city government more efficiently than our neighboring communities. Unfortunately, there is a bottom line cost for these services, and we are also being hit with costs that we cannot control in the areas of pensions and health care. So we're doing the best that we can to maintain these services, but we need to have a bottom line amount of financial resources to continue to provide the outstanding police and fire protection that you've come to enjoy and expect in the city of Hazel Park. Please vote yes for this millage on February 24th. The future of this community is dependent on it. If you have any questions, I want you to call me, 248-546-4060. Send me a Facebook message, send me an email. I will come to your house. I will talk to you. I will talk to your neighbors. I will stand on your front porch and I will look you in the eye and I will answer any question that you have about this millage. So I look forward to hearing from you. Please vote yes on Tuesday, February 24th. I can't stress enough how important that this millage is to the future of our community. Hazel Park has always risen to the challenge. It's been a history of cooperation. That's the secret sauce in Hazel Park. That's why we've been able to make it when so many of our other communities that have a similar taxable value per capita to Hazel Park are already under state control. Hazel Park remains master of its own destiny because we cooperate. The employees cooperate with management, management cooperates with the employees, and the residents support our city, and that is the secret sauce. This cooperative arrangement between employees and residents have helped to ensure that Hazel Park remains independent of state control and continues to provide you with outstanding services. I hope we can continue to do that. The choice is yours. Thank you very much.
Lastly, Mr. Klobuchar, I want to make sure that I emphasize how important it is to get out and vote because of the unique arrangement of this vote and the authority as a whole, and explain how the vote is basically tabulated.
Yes, it will be a total number of voters in the authority. That means Hazel Park and East Point voters together constitute one voting group. And a total number of yes votes in that voting group will determine whether or not this millage passes. So if you want this millage to pass, remember, East Point is twice the size of Hazel Park. It's critically important for every Hazel Park voter to go to the polls and cast a yes vote to give us the best chance of passing this authority. Do I wish that it were different, that we could pass it on our own without another community? I do. But the state law does not allow us that option. We've tried to be as creative as possible in order to enable you to be presented with an avenue for us to continue to survive and to continue to provide you with outstanding services. So it's critically important that the residents of Hazel Park go to the polls on Tuesday, February 24th, and cast a yes vote for this authority. We will continue to provide you with great services if it passes.
I just also wanted to point out, if you want additional information, you can see the town hall presentation along with our PowerPoint slides on our Facebook page as well as the City of Hazel Park website, www.hazelpark.org. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Klobuchar.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell.